there's been a lot going on foreign policy-wise in this hemisphere, and we'll get to Iran in a moment. But there's a guy that we like. He's a professor of history at the University of Arkansas, and he's got a book, John Quincy Adams, A Man for the Whole People. And Adams is very involved with foreign policy because he was an ambassador overseas in the early part of our republic. And Randall Woods, Dr. Woods, joins us now from Fayetteville, Arkansas. So you say, apparently, that John Quincy Adams would not have approved of Donald Trump trying to reshape this hemisphere to be more pro-American. Is that, do I have it correct?
No, I think that he would approve efforts to recreate the Americas to suit our interest. I'm not sure he would have gone about it in exactly the same way. The Monroe Doctrine was both expansionist and isolationist. It was a warning to Europe, the Holy Alliance, to stay out of hemispheric affairs, but it was also a kind of statement that that the hemisphere was going to be, we were going to be the hegemon in the hemisphere and not Europe.
Right, but I would get an A in your class because my hand would go up and go, hey, doctor, did you know that John Quincy Adams was Secretary of State under James Monroe? How about that? Okay, yeah. That's an A. So that when the Monroe Doctrine was forged, John Quincy Adams was standing right there going, yay. And now we have the Don-roe Doctrine, which isn't that much difference in the Monroe Doctrine. It's really not, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's about the kind of threat. You know, the U.S.-Latin American relations is a history of U.S. intervention in Latin America, from the Spanish-American War, when we converted Cuba into a protectorate, through Theodore Roosevelt's Big Stick, and then Woodrow Wilson's missionary diplomacy. We intervened, in the 1930s because of the threat of Japanese and Nazi aggression, and then during the Cold War to combat Castroism and the threat of Sino-Soviet imperialism. But I don't think there's the existential threat now.
Well, let me challenge you on that. Narcotics flooding into this country, killing millions of Americans over periods of time. And they're coming from nations in Central and South America. That's a national security threat, is it not?
Nobody's forcing Americans to take drugs.
No, that's true. But you have... No. Nobody forces anybody. And I have been very harsh on drug addicts because they're helping these cartels. However, that doesn't negate the threat to the country because we have a bunch of idiots that want to get high. And these cartels and Maduro and the Colombian guy, who's going to be neutralized very quickly, soon, these are people making money off hurting our country. So a president's supposed to just do nothing about it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not sure that's a good reason. I think that Maduro was a bad actor, is a bad actor.
No, he's a corrupt guy. He's got indictments all over the place.
Sure, but why don't we? There's a lot of other corrupt regimes around the world.
Well, you're doing a what about now? We'll knock them down one by one. You got Noriega out of there. It wasn't a scream policy then, and it's the same thing with Maduro. And now, did you know that Maduro seized, and along with Chavez in Venezuela, $19 billion worth of U.S. assets? And people are complaining about Trump seizing their oil or regulating their oil? What are you supposed to do? Just walk away, doctor, of $19 billion in theft? Is that what you would do?
Why did Donald Trump pardon the Honduran president?
What? Say that again?
Why did Donald Trump pardon a convicted drug dealer, the former president of Honduras?
Well, he did that for political reasons inside of Honduras, as I explained on this broadcast. And it was about getting a pro-American party elected. And this guy, this thug that we convicted, is still popular down there. And that's why he did it. It was a purely political move. So, but you can what about all day long. I'm not saying that everything Donald Trump does is correct. I'm saying the overarch of challenging anti-American countries, countries that are hurting me, my children, my family, is a legitimate way to use our power. Last word.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I just think it's there's a better way to do it.
What better way? Then how would you stop all the tons of narcotics coming in
Well,
here?
if you look at the history of regime changes during the Cold War, they used the CIA.
Well, that's what they're using now. The CIA ran that entire Venezuelan operation.
The CIA is an alternative to armed intervention.
The CIA designs the military operations, military action. The Pentagon carries them out. Anyway, very provocative. The book is John Quincy Adams, A Man for the Whole People. And I'm sure you knew this, Doctor, that John Quincy jumped naked into the Potomac River every day. You know, I don't know if that had anything to do with his foreign policy, but
absolutely.
He got a little brisk. Okay. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.